Do you ever try to hide your disability, or do you let it shine? Or it's an interesting question.
There are some times when I can't not let it shine because it just is fundamentally who I am.
Exactly.
So some of those traits that are common to it, they'll just come out whether I like it or not.
I don't try to hide the neurofibromatosis because people tend to be more understanding of that one. They don't tend to judge you for having a genetic condition. But for Asperger's, autism, I typically don't tell people because I usually get, oh, you don't seem autistic.
Yeah, at first I try to hide my identity. I try to hide my disability because disability is kind of a taboo topic in my country. So people don't really understand that. People don't have that recognition.
I like to let it shine when I'm around like my comfort people because like they know the deal. They know it's who I am and they liked me before.
I let it shine because I think that if used correctly, it allows us to become better people, and it can also inspire the people around us to break barriers and themselves become better people.
I think I let it shine. I think I like to do my thing. I'm not really sure how I could... I mean, I do tend to mask, especially with people that I don't know. But with people who I get close with or people who I'm getting to know, I feel like I always just slide in with the, hey, I have autism. And it's always been fine.
I love to tease people, I guess. I talk to them, I have a conversation for 5 or 10 minutes or more who haven't met me before. And then I say to them, do you know I'm deaf? And they look at me really surprised because they have no idea. And I can understand why. And it's a credit to cochlear implant technology, I think.
Stealth mode.
I don't think I let it shine, so to speak. It's not like my
special trick.
My jazz hands, my special trick. Definitely on a dating profile, I'm not like, wow.
I found that, I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I do let people know, it makes us closer, Right. The trust is there, and also like everything that they could before attribute to, distraction or malice or something like that, they can now attribute to just me not picking up what they're saying or me not hearing what they're saying or something like that. Right. Yeah.
Does being neurodivergent limit your academic achievement?
I don't really think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's more of a case of if you have the same materials and it's all equitable, then yes.
Yeah, I think it's lucky to be in a university in 2025.
Oh.
And it doesn't limit your academic achievement because the one thing that's still working is your brain.
I do part-time at the moment, and it does suck because especially when you're doing psychology and if you want to do like your masters and stuff, it's like a long road to go.
I don't feel like it's limited my academic achievement, but I feel like the way that courses are modelled and like the modes of learning are kind of attuned to one type of brain.
I would say I don't know. I would say no, but it does limit my ability to do basically everything else.
It adds more work that you have to do by yourself. Like I have to go home and watch the lectures again, see what I missed. So maybe it doesn't limit what I can do, but it adds to the amount of work I have to do.
Even at my best, I have to come to terms with that I can do really well, but I need to have more realistic expectations of what really well is for me. And that can be really hard when you were an overachiever, like growing up and...
Stop.
Sorry.
Too real. Okay. Yeah.
Is it better for someone to offer help or just silently panic nearby? If in doubt, ask about.
Oh, look, it's better for them to ask in I think most situations if it looks like the person doesn't know where they're going. Sometimes there is a bit of a barrier to like if we are a bit unsure, we may not ask for help, but we may need it, but we may not realize we need it. If we're in danger, please help us.
Definitely, yes, definitely.
If people can see I'm struggling, I would like some help. If I've said pardon twice or I beg your pardon twice, it means that the word is just escaping me. And I would like someone to pipe up with an alternative word or just say it louder.
For me, the biggest difference was all the accommodations I needed, like people holding microphones and, you know, speaking up and looking at me and letting me lip read. The lecturers who were the best were the ones who had no shame about it. Like if they needed to use a mic, and if there was a group discussion, they needed to bring that mic over to somebody like a student who wanted to share something, they would just stride over. They wouldn't feel ashamed or like, oh, excuse me, oh, so sorry, would you mind? No, they'd be like, just confidently, this isn't a big deal. That's the biggest thing for me. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That changed how I approach services as well.
What's one thing that teachers do that makes your life harder, even if they mean well, Seth?
It's a very delicate balance between doing too much and doing too little. I think that's the one thing that makes it a bit harder is that sometimes they can over-explain things, or other times they can under-explain things to try to compensate if I say that. Otherwise, that's a very small thing. Everything else that they do so far has been extremely helpful.
Nothing.
It sometimes makes my life harder when teachers say things that are hurtful even if they don't mean it. I guess it's important for me to recognize that they're always trying to do their best and that they try to do their best for their students, and that's helped me a lot.
What does it feel like when your brain has a mind of its own?
Oh.
Well, I wish that I could tell.
That would be that's kind of the whole point of the disability.
Yeah. If I did, but there's something called agnosia with schizophrenia where it's that you're unable to know that you're unwell. So that's that's why I take so much time and energy to make sure that I'm compliant with what I need medication-wise. That's everyone's choice. In my life, it takes a lot of work to be well, but I am. And that's because I just cannot stand what it feels like to not know that you're unwell.
It's the finding out afterwards. It sometimes feels like I'm a backseat driver in my own head, and even I myself can be throwing out like, something feels off about this. Something feels a bit strange. Maybe this is wrong, but it's just not loud enough and it's just not strong enough that I end up having to be informed by other people like it's happening again.
What do you do that people assume you can't?
Most things, actually. People see you in a chair and they assume things about you. Quite often it involves mental capacity.
For some reason, people just kept telling me like, oh, you don't have to study, you can just do something easy, like something that will make you happy, which I didn't understand. And it kind of just made me go like, I want to finish my degree.
Yeah.
I want to challenge your assumptions.
I can do most things that some people may not think that I can do. For example, like playing an instrument. For some reason, people think that they look at their hands when they play the piano. They don't. It's very funny. Or they look at their keyboard when they're typing. If you really want to type quickly, you shouldn't. But I guess the main things is, at least in my world, is navigating independently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people have some rightfully based concept that it is so difficult that we tend not to do it. But thanks to the advancements in orientation and mobility training, and the advancements of technology, it's actually much easier than you would think. We can live as part of the greater society,
that's
within
right.
it.
It's nice.
We
Yeah,
don't have to
very
be
nice.
separated from it at all.
That's true. That's really nice. Yes.
When I was first diagnosed with my condition, my doctor told me that I couldn't go to school. He said you had to take a break from school, and then you can't go back to school because of your condition, and you need some time to heal, and some time to get used to the medications and stuff like that. And then when I went back to school, I had this feeling that I didn't deserve to be in the school.
Really?
Yeah, that I wasn't fit to go to school.
Really?
And I think that just by being here and having gone through school and through my exams and finishing one semester, I've proved to my doctor and to the people around me that I deserve to be here and that I can be here, despite my condition, that I can still strive and be able to do the things that I want to do.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Did you prove it to yourself as well?
I proved it to myself as well, yeah.
Educate yourself about disability, its history, and the language around it. And ultimately, it's because anyone can become disabled at any time.